what actions do you plan to take about maintaining a viable democracy, such as restoring confidence in government, etc.? I'm going to come back and start with Senator Diego and come back.
Well, this is an issue that's near and dear to my heart. My first major accomplishment on City Council was to pass public financing for the City of Albuquerque, which took money out of local politics. Many people said it couldn't be done, didn't have a lot of support. I stuck my neck out there, and the voters passed it overwhelmingly. Albuquerque is one of the few cities in the country where mayors and City Council people run under public financing. In the state legislature, me and my allies like Senator Dee Dee Feldman, Senator Ortiz y Pino, Senator Peter Wirth, Senator Tim Keller, we have pushed against centrist and corporate Democrats who absolutely don't want to change the way we've done business. I've sponsored public financing for all statewide offices for the last 4 years. I've sponsored an independent ethics commission. Our democracy is in crisis at all levels. But as long as we keep sending folks up there who become part of the status quo, we're never going to change it. You know, sometimes when you fight those big fights, it's tough to get them done, and they take 10 years sometimes. But, you know, Dee Dee and I, Dee Dee's been sponsoring this for years, and her lobbying ban, legislators becoming lobbyists immediately, made it to the floor and died. The year before I sponsored it, made it to the floor and died. Not just because of Republicans, because some of our very conservative Democrats have fought it and extolled the virtues of lobbyists on the floor of the Senate. That has to change. We've got to start electing different kinds of people who are willing to take on these issues. They're tough. They don't get you into the good old boys club, but they're necessary, and I'm happy to take them on. And the first thing I'll do in Congress is continue to lead the fight to overturn, for a constitutional amendment to overturn Citizens United. We have to do it.
Thank you. Commissioner Lujan Grisham on maintaining a viable democracy.
I agree. It is time to be sure that we're not embracing the good old boys club. I think I can say that in a way that is pretty powerful sitting up here today. No offense, gentlemen. You want to change the face of Congress, you have to change who you send to Congress. And I'm going to take this on a bit. Yes, we are all fighting the hard fight. You've got 3 powerful, dedicated Democrats up here that are all going to talk about, including me, a viable, assertive, democratic return to justice and fairness and equity and equality. And we do that by exactly this effort right here, and engage our communities and increase voter turnout and have a better partnership and do something about Citizens United. I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I think I agree, probably it's the only thing, with Senator John McCain, who said those justices, when they made that decision for Citizens United, are clearly out of touch with Americans and with individuals. But where I think I take exception to the right kind of Democrats and the current state of affairs in New Mexico's Senate, I've spent 20 years fighting in this legislature with great success. They're incredible Democrats and progressive who have incredible records taking on, including myself, pharmaceutical companies, insurance companies, predatory lenders. And it's not just about getting a vote done. It's about getting your own legislation through committee, onto the floor, over to the House, and upstairs and signed, and then invested and implemented into real actions and programs in this state and our community. And that's how you restore democracy, because you restore trust and confidence with the people who were tired of waiting. This gridlock and ineffectiveness must stop.
Mayor Chavez, on maintaining a viable democracy.
Well, I was very proud as mayor to 2 times take caps in campaigns to the United States Supreme Court. One, when our own was thrown out, when one of my challengers challenged it under Buckley versus Vallejo, and then 2, we filed an amicus brief in the Vermont case because I believe caps are appropriate. They're a sane way to run elections and keep big money out. One of the things you got to do, though, is when you think about public policies, you got to think about it first and see how it's going to play out. Let's look at our own example here in Albuquerque. We knew that you couldn't put caps on individual contributions to somebody's self-funding of their own campaign under the existing Supreme Court legislation. That was a part of the so-called campaign finance reform in the city of Albuquerque. It was immediately thrown out because we thought that that's what's going to happen. So what do we get with what we have here in the city of Albuquerque today? A Republican mayor, a Republican city council, and we see things that we hold dear. The right to organize collectively, energy codes being thrown out the window. So we have to be careful when we implement these. Look, Elizabeth Warren is running for the U.S. Senate in Massachusetts. We all want her to win. She challenged her opponent, her Republican opponent, to say no to the third-party anonymous expenditures that are specifically provided for in Citizens United. He said yes. I issued the same challenge in this race to my challengers. Neither are willing to even talk about it. So, we can't be wagging our finger here and our hand out over here. And this morning I'm going to issue this challenge once again. Just as Democrats in this primary, let's take responsibility for every dollar spent on our behalf. Let's accept the Warren challenge. Let's say Citizens United is wrong. You can't say it's wrong here when you got your hand out over here. In Congress, I'm going to stop the revolving door. It's 1 year now. I want to take it to 5 years. The types of things that allowed Newt Gingrich to be a multi-millionaire because he traded on his expertise, and we need that law in Washington today.